Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, traders. This is John Howe speaking. Today we're going to do a bit of a weekly wrap on the markets to see what has been happening in the market in the last week. Now, this is the week ending on the 1st of August, Friday the 1st of August. So let's go have a look at what the markets have done. Right now we're looking at the XAO, the All Orders, and that's the Australian, one of the Australian indexes. We can see right now that we're looking at a weekly chart. We can see that this is a weekly chart here, so this is exactly what happened in the last week. Basically nothing. Okay, but one thing we can look back over here, we can say, okay, there's actually a bit of significant support or resistance through here. Can you see that? There's a bit of resistance through here, came up, came down, support. So support and resistance are evident in most markets or in all markets, and we can see it actually became evident over here. It actually had a bounce, and now it's just gone sideways. So I'm not exactly sure where this market's likely to head in the future. We're going to play it out the way it is. But right now it is at a bit of a significant support level. So that's the reason why it's gone sideways. So you can see we did just have a sideways week. Let me just bring up to a daily chart now, and I'm going to show you a daily chart. And let me just open this up. We can see for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now, we just really haven't done much at all. We went down a little bit, up a little bit, and down a little bit. So overall, we're forming a little pattern through here. Okay, look at this little pattern forming through here. If we just do a little trend line down through here as well, okay, we're forming a bit of a triangle pattern. So that's obviously a triangle pattern through there, and when it breaks, it's likely to continue in that direction for quite some time. So once again, it's a very slow sideways pattern at the moment. But obviously the market's taking a breather because the market can't always run down like this from here through to here. Okay, it can't always run down like that or run straight up. It needs a breather, it needs a bit of a pullback, a rest, and some people like to call it refueling. Okay, likes to re-energize before it takes off in a direction again. So it's just taking a breather right now, but this does look like it's just trying to go. Basically, if you have a look at this here, from here to down to here, and I just delete those other trend lines. Okay, from there down through there, you can see it's basically now just going sideways. Okay, it doesn't know where it wants to keep. Does it want to keep going down, or does it want to keep going up? But we are forming a bit of a triangle pattern, and we're starting to form a sideways channel now. So that's happening on the XAO. Again, it's a sideways channel. We don't know where it's going to break out, but if it starts breaking down again, I would say we're likely to continue in the downward trend that we've been in for most of the year. So let's have a look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. We can see that we have a nice trend line coming up through here. Okay, on Friday, notice it came down, almost bounced off it, and came back up, formed like a little doji. Now, if we go look at the weekly chart, look at this. This is what happened last week. Basically nothing. Okay, like the XAO, the Australian market, and we're looking at the Dow Jones now, which is the top 30 stocks in the US. You can see it basically didn't do anything. If we go look back at the daily chart now, we can see that our trend line, our triangle pattern is evident in this market as well. So you can see it's creating a higher low by creating lower highs. That is creating a triangle pattern through there. So one thing to look at with this is, once again, wait for the breakout, and if it breaks out, it's likely to continue in that direction for a number of days. Okay, it's likely. So, but don't just take that as a recommendation. Make sure you get your indicators, make sure you get your volume, make sure you get financial advice before you take any recommendation at all. Okay, so this is likely to break down. If it breaks down, if it starts breaking up, we'll probably see another bit of a pull back up in the overall bearish market as we speak. So that's the Dow Jones. We can see that once again at the Dow Jones, we have had probably a bit of resistance through there, that level through there. But once again, this is more of a channel and sideways pattern on the Dow. So let's just quickly have a look at the S&P. That's the 500 index in the US. We can see that once again it's done exactly what the Dow's done. This is the top 200 stocks. We have a rise to the upside through there. We have a nice triangle pattern coming down, probably down through here somewhere. Okay, so there's a bit of a triangle pattern forming there. once again, is it going to break down? Is it going to break up? No one really knows. You just got to sort of play it out with. But the way this is looking, we have on this chart have had a lot more resistance on this chart than we have on the Australian market and also the Dow chart as well. But look at this. We have resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay, if I just remove this trend line through here, we're actually forming a bit of a bullish pattern. Okay, this is a bullish triangle pattern. It's an ascending triangle pattern. Now, if it comes down here, bounces off here, comes back up and bounces and breaks through the upside, then it's likely to continue in that direction. And I'd say if it does break to the upside, we're likely to see some upward movement. Okay, and some nice buying activity. I agree, or I believe in this in the overall market. Therefore, if we do see the S&P breaking up above that, we can see the Dow flying up as well, and therefore we're likely to see the Australian market go for a bit more of a rally to the upside. So just watch out for that this week. We don't know what's going to happen, but again, there's patterns in the market that you notice, and if it does start to generate these patterns, telling you something. And when the market's telling you these patterns, you need to listen to them and say, okay, what are you trying to tell me here? And that's exactly what we do every day in the trading room. So have a good weekend. Make sure you look after yourself. Be careful in this rough time of market. It's really hard to get some good trades out there, but with some mentoring and coaching, we can pick up some good trades, and you can pick up some good runners as well. So make sure you look after your financial future as well. It's very, very important because the market is very volatile out there. And as a short-term trader, if you are a short-term trader, please be very, very careful and only take very, very high probability setups. Please have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye for now. Trade in the stock market is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee your profit from the information provided. The information in these videos is meant for educational purposes only. That being said, I've been trading the market profitably for many, many years. So please, do your own homework and make sure you look after your current financial situation.